Good morning, everyone. 9 a.m., 39 degrees. Thanks for watching Daybreak here on WGRZ Plus, where we'll continue to stream through 9:30 this morning. And if you have to drive this morning in Buffalo, you'll want to avoid Potter's Road. That's where there was a massive sinkhole, and crews are working to repair it. Let's see if we've got some video of it here. This sinkhole formed on Potter's Road. This video was taken at about 7 o'clock last night. And now the city says the Department of Public Works and Sewer and water crews will be looking into the situation to repair Potter's Road. Thursday will mark 4 years since the racially motivated mass shooting at the Tops on Jefferson Avenue. And since that day, there's been ongoing efforts to heal and strengthen Buffalo's East Side community. And today, a group will take another step toward that goal. An event has been organized by the group called the May 14th Community Memory Coalition. They say they plan to have open conversations about working together to break down structural racism and move forward together. The event is being held at the Buffalo History Museum. It's happening at 8:30. Well, it started actually a half hour ago at 8:30 this morning. The coalition is a joint effort of survivors, cultural institutions, historians, schools, and more. In their words, their goal is to foster a culture of remembrance, resilience, and reckoning. A Buffalo police officer accused of killing his wife in February is set to make his next court appearance in Niagara County this morning. Prosecutors say Lance Woods shot his wife, Alexis Skachelis, in the head on Valentine's Day after she told him she was leaving him. Woods has pleaded not guilty to the murder charges against him. We also know that a Buffalo police captain, LaShondra Roach, was suspended in connection to this case. And when we asked for an update from Mayor Sean Ryan yesterday, he said she is still suspended, but wouldn't give any more specifics about her connection to the case or the case in general. 2 on Your Side will be there at the courthouse today, and we will be sure to bring you any new developments as they come in. Well, new video just into the newsroom this morning. 8 beagles are going to be adjusting to a safe new home in Western New York. This is video from Against All Odds Animal Alliance from Darien Center. They went to Wisconsin yesterday to rescue the beagles from Ridgeland Farms, which has been at the center of controversy because of animal abuse allegations. Ridgeland Farms denies those accusations. And while the 8 beagles adjust to a new life here in Western New York, rescuers with Against All Odds will be giving them medical care at the sanctuary until they are ready to be adopted. It's a busy week for Buffalo's new police commissioner. Erica Shields is building out her leadership team after officially starting her new role earlier this week. Shields says that she sees an abundance of talent within the police department, making it easier to assemble her team. And that includes appointing former interim commissioner Craig Macy as her first Deputy Commissioner of Operations. Just days into her tenure, she's already facing key challenges, including a staffing shortage, overtime concerns, and a police force currently operating without a contract.
It's really important that I have people at the table who are professional, who will maintain a calm demeanor, who will continue to engage with the employees, with the union, the mayor's office. I'm looking for professionalism, and these folks embody that, and I think that'll help us get to the finish line on the union contract.
The police union says the pressure on officers is only expected to increase with staffing shortages and mandatory overtime continuing as the department enters its busiest time of the year. Erie County lawmakers are weighing a proposal aimed at giving drivers some relief from high gas prices. The plan would cap the county sales tax so it applies only to the first $2 of every gallon of gas or diesel sold at county stations, even if pump prices rise higher. Republican legislators backing the measure say it's a way to ease the burden on consumers. But County Budget Director Mark Cornell says history suggests it wouldn't actually save drivers money.
Gasoline is highly volatile, and there are many factors that control the price on a daily basis. What I'm saying is that the Erie County sales tax on gasoline is not a material factor in that, and that if we were to do another exemption going forward, the exact same thing would occur, where we would see no change in our price of gas relative to other neighboring locations that do not have this exemption.
And supporters argue any possible relief is worth pursuing. Opponents say the county would lose tax revenue without guaranteed savings at the pump. And with Democrats holding the majority in the legislature, the proposal faces an uphill battle. Taking a look at current gas prices, the national average, according to AAA, is $4.55 a gallon this morning. The state average, $4.58. And here in the Buffalo-Niagara region, the average is $4.54 a gallon this morning, which is 2 cents higher than yesterday, a 41-cent increase over the past month. And in February, before the start of the war, gas prices were $2.98 a gallon. Yesterday, New York State Governor Kathy Hochul said that she and legislative leaders had come to terms on the state budget, which was already more than a month overdue. However, State Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie claims the governor was premature in her announcement and that there is not a deal in place.
There's no budget deal. There's no deal.
Did you tell her not to come out and accept
I said to her last night, I was comfortable with her saying to y'all, we were close. It is close. But this is what's wrong with this process. It's like, I'm gonna only talk about policy, and then when I think the legislature is giving me what I want on policy, then we'll talk about money. There's so many open issues on money where, you know, in all parts of the budget, the governor's team, the Senate's team, the Assembly's team sign off. We've signed off on nothing major. And this is what I'm telling y'all is wrong with this process. And I'm saying this to y'all very clearly. I'm never doing this again. Budgets are supposed to be about money, not policy.
So state lawmakers passed another extender to keep the government functioning until the budget is formally approved. You can also watch Governor Hochul's full announcement about the budget right now on our WGRZ streaming app. All right, it is 41 degrees at 9:07. We still have that little tiny raindrop in our bug at the corner of the screen, Patrick. Are we going to be done with rain soon and see that sunshine that you've promised?
Very soon. In fact, the clearing is just on the other side of the Peace Bridge here. So, yes, the light rain that is still falling is going to be coming to an end, and it's going to be a much brighter afternoon, no doubt about it. There we go. We'll see decreasing clouds. Tomorrow, not a bad day. A couple of showers or a thunderstorm in the late afternoon or evening. And then it looks like dry weather as we head towards Mother's Day. There are the clouds and showers, but look at the clearing back here in Ontario. That's what's pushing our way. And we are going to see some, nicer conditions this afternoon. After getting, some rain this morning and even a couple snowflakes in the hills, there goes future look. Maybe a couple of isolated showers once again in Niagara County. We saw them yesterday. Most of the area stays dry except a little shower or two could pop up there. Elsewhere, it looks like it's going to be nice. Then for tomorrow morning or late tonight tomorrow morning, rain is likely near the Pennsylvania border. Okay, so if you're in Bradford or Olean, you could get some rain early. And then we'll see dry weather for the bulk of the day. Here come those late afternoon, early evening showers. Not looking very interesting, if you will, on future look. I think there's going to be a little more of an organized line of showers coming through. That won't last that long. And then Saturday, Mother's Day, some early clouds giving way to partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. So high temperatures today into the mid-50s, 50 in Wilson, also in Athol Springs, mid-50s in Cheektowaga. Plenty of sunshine, it looks like, from Sherman, Dunkirk, and Elegantville that woke up to some snow showers this morning. A morning shower, still a few of those kind of loitering about, but they're going to push east. Long-range forecast next week. It's kind of cool to start. We're in the 50s. Rain showers likely on Wednesday with one more push of cooler air with that. And then it should begin, Melissa, to warm up by the end of next week or weekend. I will say it's looking more and more likely that May is going to end on a warm note, but we still have a little bit of real estate to get through with these cool temperatures before that weather flip happens.
Wow. It's got to be warm. It's got to end warmer than it is right now. This is
no kidding.
Pretty brutal. But tonight, for folks going to party in the plaza, 19,000 people who need to walk into KeyBank Center and those who are choosing to watch at Canal Side, we're going to be okay.
Just fine. Yeah, again, don't think the gloom like this is going to continue a very pleasant afternoon and evening.
And it's good that we're looking nice for mothers.
And who do you think's doing the drum tonight? What do you think?
I don't know.
Can you bet on that, by the way? Like on Kalshi or one of those
I'm thinking it's going to be Wyatt Russell. Kurt Russell. And
I agree.
His son. He's in town.
No, he's in town. Okay.
Yeah. What was your question?
I guess he grew up in Ontario.
Right.
But his connection with the Sabres is relatively
new, but also it's gotten a lot of attention.
Right.
And he's been doing a lot with Sabres fans, and he's been saying great things about the city. I don't know, though. I mean, there's a lot of other local people and, former players that are maybe even more so deserving. So I have no idea. It was Bill Fichtner on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Do you have any guesses?
I still think it would be just great to see a Danny Gare or somebody like that. I don't know, just a player from the past. I don't know. That builds in a little nostalgia. It takes you back to the late 90s or the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Just
We've also have a bunch of Olympians here in Western New York, like Haley Skimura, Matt Anderson. I don't think Matt Anderson's in town.
Good idea.
But, other athletes might be great. Mm-hmm. No idea. Another reason to tune in.
I know. So sometimes it leaks. Right? Like I heard Bill Fichtner kind of leaked before.
Yeah, and Jeremy White put that out on.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will stay tuned.
We will soon find out.
We have a lot to talk about Sabres-wise, and that's coming up right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are just hours away from puck drop in Game 2, about 10 hours away. I have the Wagon Street sign here. Was Washington Street, but now it's Wagon Street. Lots of folks have these little signs and big lawn signs now. The Tops has been giving out. Everyone's jumping on the wagon.
And the Sabres wagon is very different than a Bills wagon, like Circle the Wagons. So it's a very different wagon. I would think, isn't it? Because the wagon is like the train. You're getting on the wagon.
Yeah.
And then Circle the Wagons, similar, I guess.
I never knew what Circle the Wagons really meant. I always thought it was just a fan wagon.
Because in the olden days, if you were on a wagon train, when they would settle, they would circle the wagons to, I guess, protect and create like a little traveling community, so no outside, animals or wild forces could come in. So you would
the
circle
Oregon Trail
and the Lewis and Clark, all that, those in the olden days. That's where I think the circle came from, because that's what...
Like protect our team, stand by your team type of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
And Chris Berman, I think, when he coined that, was kind of like, let's circle the wagon, let's get on board.
Right.
Similar.
This is jump on the Sabres bandwagon.
Right.
Which you're thinking is different than the circling.
Well, I mean, it just occurred to me. It's like, oh.
Well, if you want to take a picture, there is a wagon in Alumni Plaza. A lot of people will be there later today for Game 2. We know the Sabres for Game 1 put on a really impressive all-around performance. It was really fun to watch. They got off to a really fast start. Mm-hmm. In the end, it was 4-2. They saw contributions from the top down. Sabres players like Greenway, who this was his best game all season on Wednesday. And then also goals from McLeod and who else was there? Greenway, McLeod, Bo Byram, and then I'm missing somebody.
Who else?
But someone else who typically doesn't score. And so it was great to see these lines step up. Oh, Josh Stone, right, of course. Yeah. So a lot of points. Thank you, Mike and my ear, for helping me with that. But lots of great moments from guys who really needed to step up, because the Sabres top line and Montreal's top line are so evenly matched. So now you're going to the lower lines to see who's better than the next. And it really turned out to be the Sabres in Game 1. But Game 2 is a new ball game, or puck game, I suppose. So we shall see who's going to win. And if the Sabres had a 2-game lead going into Montreal for Games 3 and 4, that would be huge. They could breathe a little bit. But despite their dominance in the last game, the Sabres players are not taking the Canadiens lightly.
A really good line. They have a ton of skill. They read the ice very well, and they're dangerous when they get their chances. So, like I said before the game, we have to take away time and space and keep staying on them and make it hard on them. I think we did a pretty good job. I think we can do even better next one.
And speaking of Deline right there, he is one of 3 finalists for the Norris Trophy, which goes to the NHL's top defenseman. As we all know, Deline spent time away from the team to be back in Sweden to take care of his fiancée, who had a heart transplant. Yet he still posted 74 points in 77 games, which is 6th best among defensemen across the entire league. He's also up for the Masterton Trophy for perseverance and dedication to the game. And he really exemplifies that. Plus, yes, his play on the ice also. So yesterday, his fiancee, Carolina, posted on Instagram. She rarely posts, but she wanted to post in regards to these 2 massive honors that Deline has been nominated for. So I want to read you her post because there's some interesting information there too that we really haven't heard before. She said, "I'm so incredibly proud of you. You truly deserve both of these nominations. Almost a year ago, our entire world was turned upside down. You went from enjoying a completely normal day on vacation to hearing doctors shouting that she is going to die, not once, but at 4 different occasions. You went from looking forward to becoming a father to not knowing if you would ever see me again." She goes on to say, "Through it all, you never stopped being everything at once, the best fiance, a great friend, a true captain, and the most loyal teammate anyone could ever ask for. Very few people know the full story. Most only know half of it at that. What you've accomplished this season is nothing short of incredible, and you deserve every bit of recognition coming your way. I'm so proud of you always." What a beautiful message.
Very nice.
And showing the love that the 2 of them share, and her recognizing that he's such a great team leader as well. But if you don't know, Carolina was pregnant and she had a miscarriage, and that's how she then learned that she was going into heart failure, and that's why she needed the heart transplant. And they came out publicly and announced all of that in January. But what a season for Rasmus Dahlin to deal with, life and death situation with his fiance, and then to lead his team, who he is the captain of, and he's been on the team since 2018, to see this incredible turnaround also for his team and lead them to victory has been incredible.
Yeah, and that was I read that too. That was very powerful, and he's been kind of the inspiration, it seems, for this like massive, a forgettable team before Thanksgiving, and then you hit December, and now the trophy is within view, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
11 more wins.
I know. I know we got to get through this. I understand, but it's not like, you made through round 1. Now it's like you can see it.
Right. So you've got Rasmus Dahlin with all this happening. You've got Tage Thompson winning a gold medal for Team USA. You've got Alex Lyon, who's all of a sudden becoming like the most favorite player on the team. Did you see his press conference yesterday and like how goofy he is? But he's also from Yale, so he's brilliant.
He's what?
He went to Yale.
He went to Yale?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's brilliant, and he just has really self-deprecating things to say about himself. And then Benson, who also...
Benson is like the dude you want to meet out. Hey, I'll meet you out in the back parking lot at noon for a scrum. He's just... So getting to know these players has been really fun, too. That's important, I think, for, to connect, to see... not just a face and a mask, to see the person.
Right.
And I think that really helps you kind of root for them even more so.
Yeah.
I mean, this Benson chewing bubblegum, yakking at the guy that put him in the penalty box. And it was just like...
He's such an instigator. Like, Rob Ray is an instigator of fighting, but like, Benson just gets under the skin of the other players.
He's kind of like a gnat. He's just like, go away, and he won't go away.
Right. And they need somebody like that on the team.
Yeah, and he's all of like... Is he 20? He can't even have a beer yet. That's good for him. Think of what's to come with him.
Right. It's a fun team to get to know, and their personalities are coming out little by little in these press conferences, too. Yeah. Like, they're just riding the wave and loving it because they never thought that they would be here either, I don't think, at the beginning of this season.
I got to look at that press conference, though. With
Lyon. Oh, my gosh. Lyon is a funny, brilliant dude. So good luck to the Sabres tonight. Again, the puck drops at 7 o'clock. And party in the plaza at 4 o'clock, and watch party at Canal Side at 5 o'clock. We'll be right back with some Teacher Appreciation Week coming up. Welcome back, everybody. We're celebrating some of the most important people in our community. It is Teacher Appreciation Week, and we are putting the spotlight on our local educators.
Yeah, earlier this week we asked you to send us your reasons why your teacher goes above and beyond, and we were flooded with responses. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of responses of people who were saying why their teacher is the best, and we had one that really stood out amongst the others, and I got the chance to meet with her on Wednesday, and I'm going to share her story with you right now.
I've always said that being a teacher is just who I am.
Janet Decker is much more than a teacher.
I'm a middle school special education teacher. I do resource room and consultant teaching for one class. Fall sideline cheerleading coach for varsity cheerleading. I coach unified bowling, and I coach modified track.
She's pretty popular around the Silver Creek School District.
She's my favorite teacher, most definitely. She kind of reminds me of a mom because she's like very protective.
She sees a lot of her younger self in her students. That's why she chose the profession.
Working with kids who struggle, who were like me, and being able to see that light bulb moment and see where they were able to finally like, oh, I get it. Or finding ways to present it in a different way that made sense for them was something that I just really enjoyed.
One of those students is Claire Gonzalez, who says Mrs. Decker has been a constant source of support.
She's always just so supportive and understanding, a very good listener. She just loves to include everybody.
Inclusion is something Mrs. Decker is fiercely passionate about. That's clear from the moment you meet her.
I want everybody to feel like they belong. And the only way to do that is to teach it, to model it.
Through Unified Sports, she's seen firsthand how simple acts of kindness can change a student's life.
You see them in the hallways, they're getting the high fives, the kids are talking to them in the morning, whereas before they would have just, waited in their little group or waited with an aide and then gone to the classroom. That was the norm.
She also works with Special Olympics of New York and worked in Chautauqua County to help declare March as Choose to Include Month, continuing her mission far beyond the classroom.
I want these kids to know that there is a future out there, that they're not going to be the ones that are just the ones in the corner that nobody talks to and nobody interacts with because they're different.
That passion is why Mrs. Decker received multiple nominations, including one from District Director of Health and Wellness, Jennifer Johnson.
She's constantly looking for ways to make the school a better place, to make the school more inclusive.
Johnson says Mrs. Decker always goes above and beyond to make every student feel like they belong.
It really makes my heart full, and it is a great feeling to see the kids really happy and to see everybody included and have their special moments at school as well.
Special moments that will last far beyond the classroom.
She has helped me through a lot. She has made me become the person I am today during school, and I love her.
She was the best. And we spoke to her a lot about, how did you make this happen in your school community? And she said one of her main goals with the inclusivity was to make it less, there are the special education students and then there are the gen ed students, and instead making it, we're all just students. And so she said with Unified, it was really cool to see the students go from, an island of special ed students to these are my teammates. And so it doesn't matter, which classroom we're in during the day, we're high-fiving in the hallways, we're going to prom with each other, all those things that she said, once that kick started and the inclusivity just became the norm in their school are now just happening all the time.
Yeah, it's not just the unified basketball team, it's the unified school.
Yeah.
And what a thing for that teacher to be able to do that and making a difference in so many lives. And everyone has a teacher who's touched their life and that, will be a big part of their life. I certainly have mine, Mr. Biscaglia, who was my AP European teacher in high school, who kind of got me into journalism and made me realize that it was something that I could do and kind of inspired me. And even my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Rayo, I've been kept in touch with her for years. And Patrick, what about you? Any favorite teachers?
You brought up kindergarten, Sister Collins. She was very, very strict.
Oh, I bet.
Very
especially with you.
Strict. But no, as I earlier, I named off all the teachers. I remember all of them. I think though, the most pivotal ones were in high school. Mr. Holubar was my math teacher, and he also served as like an assistant baseball coach. And he was if you were to think of a baseball coach, take the opposite, that's him.
Okay.
Kind of a geeky, elbow patch kind of guy, would probably smoke a pipe, but he was anyway, the point is he was so impactful in my life that, yeah, you remember him as of yesterday.
Any favorite teachers for you, Natalie?
I mean, all of my teachers were amazing, and I still remember all of my elementary school teachers. Got to give them a little bit of love. My 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Melnick, she was strict with me. I was a big talker. I don't know if that's surprising to you at all.
You know.
Yeah, so like once we got, over those growing pains a little bit, she was really influential and helped me out, especially when it came to advanced reading and things like that.
And you are such a bookworm, and I'm sure your teachers really inspired a lot of that love, as well as your mom, who is a teacher.
Yeah, growing up as the child of a teacher is so incredible because she goes from having 24 kids every day to then going and having her own kids too. And so thinking about her, she's just such a superstar.
Yeah. So as we wrap up Teacher Appreciation Week, we want to say thank you to all of the teachers and educators out there who change lives one student at a time.
And you remember the teacher that,
wrap up.
Oh, that's the hardest class that you can take,
What?
AP World History. And you remember that professor. That's amazing.
Yeah. That's for sure. I failed the AP exam, but I made it in the TV world.
He still was impactful.
He really was. So thanks, Mr. Biscaglia, and to all of the teachers. Hey, go Sabres, and happy Mother's Day. Bye, everybody.